All right, here we go. This one's gonna be a 9mm versus 357 SIG test. Today we're gonna see which one has the best one-shot stop capability. So for a 9mm, that one is the Federal 115 grain plus P plus. That is a 9B PLE. Here's what that one looks like. Does have your nickel-plated brass, and that one's rated at 1,300 feet per second. And for a 357 SIG, that one is the 124 grain Nosler. That one also has your nickel-plated brass, and that one's right at 1,475 feet per second. So we'll see how close we come today. So for our 9, we'll be using our Glock 17 Gen 1 Reproduction. That one does have that 4.5-inch barrel. And for our 357 SIG, we'll be using our Glock 31. That one also has a 4.5-inch barrel. So we'll be going through our gel. It is a 10% block. Do have our catch block behind that, so a total of 22 inches of gel. Our 4 layers of cotton t-shirt on the front, and like always, we'll set up our chronograph so we can hopefully pick up those impact velocities. So let's set up and see how these rounds do head to head. First one up will be at 9mm. All right, we're still back to 15 feet. All right, let's see how we did on that one. All right, so it looks like our impact velocity on that one was 1,331 feet per second. So that is awesome to see there. Advertised was 13, so like I said, awesome to see. A lot of times these days when you get, those high advertised velocities, you normally don't come close. So anyways, here is that entry. Looks like I got a perfect hit on that. And you can see right down in that cavity, there's a huge star pattern so far. So not too bad. So let's check it out from the top. Oh yeah, check that out. Looks like all kinds of damage. You can already see a couple of those fragments that it is shearing off. Got a nice spiral cut going all the way through. It did settle down a little bit towards the end, and there that round is in that second block. So let's see what kind of measurement we have here. So at our widest spot, we are about 2.5 to 2 3/4 inches. 2.5 for the majority, but there is one petal kind of going off a little bit further, and that's right at the 2 3/4 mark. Like I always do, I will cut these open here at the end for a cross section so we get a little bit more accurate measurement, but not too bad so far. So let's check it out from the side. And it looks like same thing from the side. So as soon as that thing came in, it pretty much exploded, especially at that high velocity. You can see a couple of those fragments already here in that channel. Looks like it carried that energy pretty much the whole way through. Maybe that last inch or so it did start to settle down. You can see it there in that second block. So let's see what kind of measurement we have here from the side. So at our widest spot from the side, pretty much exactly the same, right at that 2.5 inch mark. So definitely really good. And you can see right down in there, hopefully. And that round is facing forward, so that's really good to see. And at our leading edge, we are about 2 3/4 inches. So that one made it 13 3/4 inches of total penetration. So that's actually really good to see. Normally when you get those light and fast rounds, they usually dump quite a bit of energy right at the beginning, and they usually don't make it too far. So that is awesome to see. So let's set up for that 357 SIG and see how that one does. All right, we're still back to 15 feet. All right, let's see what we did on that one. All right, so our impact velocity on that one was 1437. So it looks like about 100 feet per second more than that 9mm. Normally when we do test those, we're usually, you know, in the 1500s. So kind of disappointing to see there. We didn't even reach advertise, but you know, still not too bad. Pretty much anything can affect these chronograph readings, you know, the way the light's hitting it, the way the, you know, weather is, pretty much everything. But you know, still pretty good. So there is that entry. Looks like I got another really good hit on that one, and looks like you see right down in that cavity, and another huge star pattern so far. So let's check it out from the top. Oh yeah, not too bad at all. So it looks like it's pretty much as soon as that thing came in, started to open up really nice. You can see quite a bit of fragmentation going on throughout that channel. Looks like it settled down just a little bit towards the end. It looks like we made it pretty far into that second block. So really good to see there. So let's see what kind of measurement we have here at our widest spot. So it looks like at our widest, we are right at about 2 3/4 inches. I believe this one was pretty much exactly the same. So, you know, there's both some really awesome rounds. It's awesome to see that 9mm actually do so well. So let's check it out from the side. And same thing from the side. So looks like that, you know, pretty much as soon as it hit, it opened up. It pretty much exploded like that last one. There's quite a bit of fragmentation pretty much all the way through that channel. Maybe that last, excuse me, 1/4 to 1/2 inch, it did start to settle down, and that one made it quite a ways into that second block. So let's see what kind of measurement we have from the side. Actually looks like we got, sorry about that guys, looks like we have a little bit more damage from the side. So it looks like we are about 3 1/8 inches from the side. So definitely a little bit more from the side than the top. So, you know, pretty good to see there. And it looks like that round is facing downward, and we made it really far into this block. We made it about 7 1/4 inches. So that made it 18 1/4 inches of total penetration. So it's actually pretty surprising. Normally we definitely don't get that much, but you know, pretty awesome to see. So let's check these channels out one more time from the top. So the one on the right is at 9, one on the left is at 357 SIG. So here is that 9mm. So you can see as soon as it came in, it's dumping all kinds of energy right off the bat. Probably about 2/3 to 3/4 to that block. Did settle down just a little bit, and it did make it into our second block. And same thing with our 357 SIG, came in, pretty much exploded like that last one, dumping quite a few fragments throughout that channel, carrying the energy pretty much the whole way. Made it a long ways into that second one, so really good to see. So let's pull these rounds and see what they look like. All right, check these things out. Looks like they both got some really awesome expansion. So the one on the right is that 9mm, one on the left is that 357 SIG. So here is that 9mm. Got some really nice mushrooming on that. Looks like it peeled those petals pretty much to its breaking point, pretty much ripped them all off. Quite a bit of that fragments and shrapnel is still left in that block, so we'll pull it out here at the end. But definitely did really nice. Not the biggest expander, but you know, not too bad at all. We got quite a bit of penetration, so which is really good to see, especially on that full size. But definitely one awesome round, and we got some pretty nice velocities for that one. And here is that 357 SIG, pretty much same thing on that one. Opened up really nice, pretty much to its breaking point. It ripped a bunch of those petals off, pretty much fragmented in there. There's quite a bit of gel in here. We will rinse all this stuff out here at the end. But same thing, really nice expansion. And we got a ton of penetration on that one, so very surprising to see there, and really good to see there. So we'll check these things out one time from the bottom. So the one on the right is at 9, one on the left is at 357 SIG. And last time from the top. So like I said, it will do our screenshot, slow-mo, all that good stuff here at the end, guys. But there we go. That one was 9mm plus P plus versus 357 SIG. That one was 9B PLE, and that one was the Nosler by Underwood. There we go. Thanks for watching, guys. All right, so there's that cross section for that 9. This one was at 9B PLE, and this one definitely was one nasty channel going through. You can see it really messed that up. There's quite a bit of fragmentation going on. Same thing on this side. You can see one of those petals sitting there on the surface, but definitely some nasty stuff. I've said it before, and you know, I'll say it again. These, because they are going so fast, and it is the way that that bullet is designed, basically like a Nosler. They look like a rifle round came in and just exploded. It's doing a lot of damage, you know, in this gel. So really good to see. And we definitely got some awesome penetration too. So let's cut this open. All right, not sure if I mentioned it, but I did measure those cross sections, and they are peaking right at about 2 3/4 inches and averaging about 2.5. You know, so definitely did quite a bit. So really good to see. So this is after being cut. So this is the bottom is the right, the top is the left. So you can see as soon as that thing came in, started to open up, pretty much explode in there. See a nice channel going all the way through. And check out that nasty damage going on. You can see quite a bit of petals and fragmentation going on in there. Same thing right there, some lead petals or some copper petals. It definitely just kind of came apart, but you know, that's kind of what that thing does. Definitely very impressive. So same thing on the top, came in, opened up really nice. You can see that path going through, and same thing on this side. Really jumbled that gel up. Quite a bit more fragmentation going on, and you can see this gel, it's kind of barely hanging on there. Kind of flipped it, you know, backwards, but really nasty channel for sure. So let's do one more quick angle so you can see a little bit better. But like I said, that is some nasty stuff for sure. Would not want to be in front of that thing. That thing was moving out good, especially at full size. But there we go, guys. That one was at 9mm, 9B PLE. All right, one more quick one. So there is all the fragments that I pulled out for that one. Quite a bit for sure. So we'll get at that with our screenshots and all that stuff here at the end. All right, and there's that cross section for that 357 SIG. This one pretty much did the same. You can see quite a bit of damage going on. A little bit of that cotton t-shirt that it drug in, and a little bit of fragmentation. Very impressive stuff there though, but I did remeasure that, and that is right at 3 inches. So definitely a little bit more than that 9B PLE. Kind of expected. It was moving about 100 feet per second faster, but really good to see. So let's cut it open. Actually, I'll show it lit up real quick, kind of like how I did the other one. So you can really see what's going on in there. Quite a bit of damage. Pretty cool. So now let's cut it open. All right, so here's after being cut. So this bottom is the right side, this top is the left. So you can see as soon as that thing came in, probably the 1/8 inch mark, started to open up. Basically exploded in there and just creating a ton of damage. You can see a copper petal down in there. This one did shed quite a bit also, but a ton of damage. Some really nasty splitting. And this one kind of did the same thing where it turned that gel kind of backwards in there. That is some nasty stuff. Same thing on this top. Came in, opened up. You can see that huge stretch going all the way through. And same thing here. Quite a bit more fragmentation. A little bit of that cotton t-shirt, but man, the amount of damage is pretty crazy. That one didn't hit advertised velocity. And normally when I do test that one out of the full size, we either get advertised or a little bit above. So that is a little bit disappointing, but you know, still did excuse me, still did really good. And the amount of damage that it, you know, actually did do in this gel. So we'll do one more quick angle. You can see a ton of damage for sure. Same thing with this. Would not want to be in front of it because it was doing quite a bit. But there we go, guys. That one was 124 grain Nosler loaded by Underwood. And this one is from all the 357 SIG, so got quite a bit of fragmentation there. Not as much as that 9, but definitely still quite a bit.